So real quick, remember when I talked about torque before? The reason why I use the hip circle is so that I can create that torque and push against the band, and the band will bring resistance to my knees. Whenever you're squatting, some people like to use the cue knees out. I like to just create torsion on the floor, so spread the ground with my feet, because automatically my knees are going to come outwards. The stronger amount of torque I create, the stronger I'm able to utilize my hips, because my knees will already be coming outwards. Okay, so that's why the hip circle is good to use when you're warming up on your leg press, squat, front squat, because you'll actually, when you spread against that band, you'll be able to feel your hips actually being used. I'm going to show you a few other things about this squat, especially the front squat from the front. So you probably noticed that when I was squatting, I took my hand, and what I did was I kind of screwed it in. So I brought one hand in, brought that in, and I screwed the other hand in. Pretty much these three fingers and these three fingers were holding the bar. They weren't really holding the bar. The bar was sitting right here on my clavicle. So screw in, and I brought my elbows up and in. Okay, I'm gonna show you a few more times where I set up this front squat with 225. Maybe gonna do 5 reps. I'm gonna be working up to a max, so I'm gonna be doing maybe 275 or 300 for max reps, beltless. And that'll be my front squat max test. If you have trouble getting in that front squat position, a few things you can do. Take your hand, put it against the wall, bring your elbow upwards, okay, bring it up again, alright, bring it up. A lot of the people lack the wrist mobility to do that. It's a lot of people lack the wrist mobility. So, just pretty much hold it this way. Let's go over. Hold. And try and get higher and higher over time, comfortably, while keeping your wrist in that position. I'll do it with this side too. See what I'm doing? Here. Taking it up. Taking it up until you get comfortable holding this position with your wrists.
Check again, ain't no telling. Yeah, she invite me to the telly, keep it playing with me when I go to check a bitch, ain't no telling. Yeah, police coming around looking for some help on a case that got us solved. You never help. Yeah, I stay up late at night thinking about my life, wanna lie, but I get it all, ain't no telling. Ain't no telling.
Alright guys, so for that I did 315 for 3 reps. I definitely think I could have done a substantial amount more, but I am running out of time and I didn't want to do anything that wasn't necessarily unsafe, so this is how I usually take my max testing. I'll pick a decently heavy weight for myself, and then I will do as many reps as I can until I feel that, okay, maybe I could potentially only do 1 or 2 more reps. The reason is I don't really want to risk the form breakdown. I don't want to risk the injuries that could potentially come with form breakdown. It's not really worth it. I'm just gonna say I did 315 for 5, and then as I go through my program, if the weight each day is like, if it's an RPE 8 every single day, Even on days I expect it to be an RPE 9 or even a 10, I'm just gonna auto-regulate it and up the weight as I feel. Because the numbers and the percentages I set aren't in stone. You know, those are daily minimums per se. But if I feel like I could definitely hit more for the amount of reps I have prescribed, I'm going to bump it up. All right? Next is close grip bench press. I'm not sure what it's for, but you'll see. So I'm gonna explain something real quick that's gonna come in handy for a lot of you guys that squat and front squat and do all this shit. Certain people squat like this, okay? They initiate the movement with their knees, putting most of the pressure into their knees and less into their hips. And the hips are stronger than the knees in terms of the natural joint, so you want to utilize your hips more whenever you're doing a squat and even a deadlift. So the reason why you create torque is so that when you do spread the ground, you do want to break at the hips and the knees at the same time, but initially when you start doing this, you'll probably be breaking at the hips a little bit earlier than the knees. So instead of having a squat that looks like this, you'll have a squat that looks like this. There's a big difference there. A lot of people complain about knee problems when they squat because they squat like the first way. And that's why they have so much pain. I never have pain in my knees anymore, even though I had so many knee problems as a kid, just because I've changed up the form of my squat to be extremely safe. And all the pressure's in my hips, where it should be, not in my knees. So when people say squats are bad for your knees, well, squats are bad for your knees if you squat wrong. Great torque. Initiate with the hips, kind of. As you get more advanced, you'll be doing both at the same time, but most of the pressure will be in your hips, and you'll be the safest squatter on earth. So today's a 5x7 at 225 for close grip bench pressing. I feel like I can do more, but I want to keep the volume here and just keep a mental note of what the RPE is. So RPE, if you guys don't know, I'm going to explain it later. But anyway, if it's an RPE 8, I potentially have 2 reps left in the tank, okay? If all my sets are an RPE rate 8, I know that next week I can increase my percentage or my intensity substantially. Anyway, let's get to it. So you guys remember how I mentioned torque, right? That's a word that's coming out a lot. Or torsion force, twisting force. Now, you know how a lot of people get injuries whenever they bench press or close grip bench press. They get shoulder injuries, messing up things, tearing labrums, stuff like that. Most of these people, when they bench, they just come straight down and straight up without creating the twisting force on the bar. When I talked about the hips before, I said that whenever you create torque, the joint is like this initially, okay? There's all this slack, and then when you create torque, you twist, it tightens up. Same thing when you create that torsion on the bar, and when you twist, this happens. It locks up, giving you a very tight, compact joint here so that when you're coming down, there's no chance for any kind of wiggle room or any type of injury to happen. So that's another reason why I do that when I close grip bench press or bench press. Do it. So yes, guys, I have a very, very weak dumbbell bench press. Like I said, mentioned before, grammar? Like I mentioned before, it's been months, or actually since last year, that I really progressed this movement. And it got weaker, but my chest got bigger since I was concentrating on my bench press. So now I'm actually really excited to progress this, make it a strength instead of a weakness. Yeah, let's get to it. so we failed a set. Not enough rest was taken. I think I only took about 45 to 60 seconds. So I'm gonna actually, there's some footage I got the other day which I haven't posted, but I do talk about this. Rest periods, guys. All the bodybuilders are like, oh yeah, don't take more than 30 seconds or 60 seconds between sets. You're gonna lose blood flow. Bullshit. The idea is that you want to move the most amount of volume while not taking crazy amount of rest on your accessory work, but hitting the volume you need to hit. So if it takes you 2 minutes to rest and you're able to get through your 5 sets of 12, rather than resting 30 seconds between sets and only getting sets of 7, he who moves the most volume wins. Bodybuilding chapter 2, verse 6. Take as much rest as you need to move the most volume possible. Don't go crazy with it, but just take the necessary rest, okay? Don't follow what I just did there. So guys, that's all the footage I got from today's workout. Because of time I wasn't able to get to my flies. I've been getting into the gym really late these past few days and it's really bugging me, but tomorrow I have my first day of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If I post this on Wednesday, then it was actually that day. It's Tuesday night right now. But to get to more important things, if what I've been telling you has helped you in the gym, I want you to leave a comment below. Let me know how it worked. Let me know if you have any confusion about anything I've said. I will answer you to you. I always get to my comments. If you have any suggestions for video ideas, I know a lot of you guys have been leaving suggestions and I appreciate that. I have a notebook of all the suggestions you leave. If you would like to repeat it again, go ahead. And if something's really popular, I'll get to it sooner than later. And also, if you disagree with me about something, go ahead and put that down below. I am not always right. There could be something that I explained in a wrong fashion. You know, put that down below because we're always learning, right? And lastly, if you like the video, go ahead and like the video. Don't be a lurker, leave a comment down below. I wanna know who you are, I wanna know what you think. And subscribe to the channel, okay? More subscribers, more motivation I have to make more of these videos. Even though I do enjoy helping you guys already, okay? This is Nsima the Centaur Inyang from Break the Bar, and I will be talking to you all very soon.